Oh, I've twisted my ankle, that's it, I'm out of football for ages. So, is this actually true? How long are you actually out of sport, out of football, when you twist your ankle or sprain your ankle? And we're going to look at a research study here, and this was looking at elite athlete football players and comparing them to general population and seeing if there was a difference. Now, you would assume there would be a big difference because you would assume that the amount of input they're going to get within the sporting sector is going to be a lot more. They're going to get treatment early, going to get treatment all the time. They're going to get the best of everything, and therefore it's it's a no-brainer. Now the reality is that more is more to a point, but not necessarily as much as perhaps is put in. There's a lot of debate over whether there's a bit overkill in the sporting world, and do they need quite that much input? I mean, there are some people who have a physio, one physio for one individual in a sport, and you think, well, that sounds rather over the top. Obviously in football they don't have it quite as close as that. They're a little bit more, physios, a group of them for the team and so on. But delving into this is just to look at if there's a difference really between the elites getting all that stuff versus the general population who haven't got access to that same level of care. And this is just going to highlight whether or not it's worth trying to make sure you get the best care you can as quickly as possible and whether that'll make a difference. So in the elite footballers, the average time off from sport was 7 to 18 days, which is not very long at all. And 83 to 89% of all the players were back within a few weeks to full sport, which is quite a high percentage to return to sport in such a small space of time. So this shows you that, getting the right care is definitely going to speed up the process. So how does this compare to the general population? Well, unfortunately, it would seem they are at a disadvantage, and we know there would be a disadvantage, but how big is that disadvantage? When we consider 83 to 89% of the sports people are back within a few weeks, which would imply very little are going to have long-term issues. So how many people in the general population have long-term ankle problems after an ankle sprain? So long-term, like they're never really recovered, chronic ankle instability, things of this nature, just keep on twisting their ankle again and again and again. Well, unfortunately, it's 40%. 40% of people who injure their ankle in normal populations basically go on to have problems down the line in 40% of cases, which is massive. Only 60% of people actually ever really get over their ankle sprain, which doesn't sound very good. When you compare that to 83 to 89% of footballers are back to full sport within no time at all. So this shows you that it is important to get assessed. It is important to understand the diagnosis. It is important to rehabilitate to a high level. And a lot of people, I've seen it many times, will sprain an ankle and they'll come in to see me and say, oh, I did it a year ago, or I did it 6 months ago. And they haven't been doing anything about it. And this is where things go pear-shaped. So it is important, and this highlights, if you get immediate input, immediate work, working on the right ways as much as you can, as best as you can. Obviously, you're never going to quite match that level of intensity that they're going to get in elite sport. But if you can get close to that, you have a very good chance of recovery. It shows you the human body is capable. It isn't just about, that's the way ankles go. It is about what you put in and what you access to help that process. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.